Hi, this is Meet the Candidates on BCTV. My name is Richard Morton. I'm the chairman of the Windham County Republicans, and I'm in the position of being able to introduce you to Patrick Gilligan, who's running for the Vermont House seat in Vernon. That's District 1. He will be replacing Mike Hebert, who's served this seat for the longest time, and I'm looking forward to spending some time finding out a little bit more about Patrick and introducing him to you. Patrick, I want to just ask you a little bit about, is this your first run for political office?
Yes, it is.
And why have you felt impelled to do that at this time?
I feel that I'm well in tuned with what's going on in Vernon and Guilford, and I believe it's time for a new generation to have a voice up in Montpelier.
Okay. Montpelier has 150 House seats, and you would like to be one of those?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Is there any particular issues that you need to present here that you feel are the most significant ones for those who are watching the program to know about what your passion is?
I'm very concerned about schools, economic development in Vernon and Guilford, and in general, tax reform at the state level.
Okay. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit about the issue related to schools. I mean, we go to school and it's sort of like an everyday thing. So what's happening in the schools that's concerning you enough to run for political office?
I'm concerned about Act 46. It's not very popular in Vernon. Vernon voted to leave the district talks between Brattleboro, Guilford, Dummerston, and Putney. And that vote was 83% in favor of leaving, which they did. Now they're their own independent entity for the time being. The reason why they left is they have school choice, and they've had this school choice for over 6 decades. Then Guilford also voted not to merge with the BUHS District Number 6, which Guilford saw 62% shooting down that merger.
Why do you think that was? What was the motivation? Something about the school choice. Maybe you could elaborate on why that's such a big issue in Vernon and Guilford.
I believe parents want to see their children go to the school that they would like them to go to. Guilford School Board, in a nutshell, suggested that the town merge with the towns of Brattleboro, Dummerston, and Putney because of their declining elementary school population, overall costs of running a school. But in my opinion, this is just putting a Band-Aid over a mortal wound. I believe that Guilford should vote to leave in the same way Vernon did. I would also propose a bill that would give Guilford the option to have school choice. I believe this would greatly help Guilford in attracting young people to the young families and young people to Guilford, and it might help increase their elementary school population.
Are there other issues related to schooling in Vernon that you think, besides Act 46, are of special interest to you? Maybe there aren't, but I just thought I'd ask.
There is one. I would like to update Vernon's school choice. Currently, they don't have an option for parochial schools, but according to the U.S. Supreme Court case, Trinity Lutheran Church of Columbia, Inc. versus Cormier in 2017, held that states cannot deny public benefits such as school vouchers because of religious statutes.
Can I just jump in and ask, how do you happen to know about that case?
I was doing my research, and I was wondering why Vernon didn't have the option of sending their school children from 7th through 12th grade to a religious middle or high school. And but going back to that, the Supreme Court said it was that the state of Missouri violated the free exercise clause in the First Amendment, which is pretty significant.
So why does Missouri's situation affect us here in Vermont?
Because the Supreme Court of the United States held that all states cannot deny public benefits, such as school vouchers, because of religious statuses.
Okay. Are there other issues in Vernon that you are particularly interested in besides the school issue?
Yes, the natural gas plant. Vernon residents are very supportive of this natural gas plant, which was seen in one of its votes where 82% of Vernon supported it. But going through the details of the natural gas plant, the gas plant would use the electrical substation that Vermont Yankee used. This would require a piece of the Miller farm to be bought off by the natural gas plant. I love our small farmers and our large farmers in Vernon and Guilford and across state, but this project must be done for the long-term stability of Vernon and the whole region in general. The natural gas plant will employ between 25 and 50 people, which is which isn't at the same levels as Vermont Yankee, but these are still very good paying jobs and would be very beneficial to the whole region.
What's the issue related to the Miller farm that seems to be a sticking point to some people? What's the issue there and how do you feel about that?
Well, I love our large and small farmers, but economic development needs to happen. We just can't rely on farming as our main source of our economy. And I am totally in support of this natural gas plant because of that. Mm-hmm. I'm not in favor of closing all the farms. I'm pro-farmer. But this plant has to go in for Vernon's long-term economic development.
Okay. So we have schools, we have the gas plant. Is there anything else that's really a hot button issue for you that's prompting you to run?
In tax reform, Vermont for a while now has been rather unaffordable to low to middle income people. And I'll do my best to propose a bill that eliminates Vermont's state income tax. That would include military pensions, Social Security checks, and workers' pensions in general. I also support eliminating the inheritance tax.
Okay. So those are three pretty significant issues that are prompting you to run. Maybe it'd be a good idea at this point to get a little background of you, Patrick, and where you come from, how you've got to where you are now, and then we put together that with your issues that you've mentioned here, and I think we'll have a better picture of Patrick Gilligan.
Well, I'm a sixth generation Vermonter. My dad's from Rutland County. His family worked in the marble mines up there for a number of generations. Then his family moved down here in the 80s because my grandmother got transferred, and we've been here ever since. And my mom's family, she's from the Stratton Mountain area, and they were hill farmers and fur trappers. Then concerning myself, I grew up around here. I went to Vernon Elementary, then through Brattleboro Union High and middle school. Then I graduated from Castleton University in 2017. I studied political science and economics.
That's your schooling background. What other experiences have you had or accomplishments that you've made that help contribute to someone who would be in public service?
At Castleton, I was very involved with the Republican Party up there. I helped one of my friends get elected to a select board seat in Castleton. And
Okay. Wanted to just ask you a little bit about being in the House of Representatives in the state of Vermont. Now, it's a not quite 2-hour trip, or just about a 2-hour trip to get to Montpelier, and they meet from January through May, unless there's an extended session, which brings you into June, and sometimes they come back for a veto session in parts of July for a week or a few days. So that's quite a commitment, and I just wanted to ask you how you think that's going to fit into the way your life is arranged right now, schooling. How do you see that working out for you?
well, the plan is once I'm elected, I serve my term in the legislature during those months, and then I go to law school when I'm not in session.
Okay. All right. So you don't have any concern about the commute or
No
No.
concern about the commute or
any of those issues?
any of those issues.
All right. Are you on the ballot?
I'm not on the ballot. I'll be a write-in candidate in the Republican primary. I need to get a certain amount of votes. Hope everyone votes for me, and I'll do my best job. I'll do the best job I can for Vernon and Guilford.
So as a write-in candidate, you need people to vote for Patrick Gilligan, to select the Republican ballot and write in your name for this position. And then if you get enough votes in that method, then you become the nominee.
Yep.
So we'll see how
Yes.
that works out for you. There's a good reason that I would offer for any viewers who are voters in Vernon, but also in the wider picture of Windham County as well, to get out and to participate in this primary, because we have a rather imbalanced legislature right now. There's 150 House seats, and and those seats are mostly held by Democrats and Republicans, and some Democrats and independents, and some progressives. But there's enough people who are Republican in the House so that they're able to sustain Phil Scott's veto when he does veto. So this gives the Republicans and the Democrats reasons to communicate with each other, to talk to one another, to negotiate, to sort of what's important to you, this is what is important to me. And what I would recommend to any viewer is to think about maintaining that balance. Prior to this election, Mike Hebert was the only Republican from Windham County, and if you win this election, then you would fill his spot. But
Yes.
there are other seats that are available. So as a chairman of the Windham County GOP, towns that are not organized for the Republican Party can organize. You just need a few voters from that town, and you contact your town clerk and they'll give you instructions how to do it. It's a pretty straightforward process. And the purpose of my saying this in support of your candidacy is to maintain and even increase the presence in Montpelier so that we can have a better dialogue between the parties. And so I want to encourage the viewers to think about that for themselves, or maybe somebody they know. So can you summarize your candidacy, what you hope to accomplish, and why people should vote for you, Patrick?
Yep. I believe it's time for a new generation up in Montpelier. But the major issues of my campaign and my purpose up in Montpelier will be to maintain Vernon's school choice and allow Guilford to also have school choice. I'll do everything in my power to make sure that the natural gas plant sees the light of day up there. I'll be a big advocate for it, and Vermont desperately needs significant tax reform to make Vermont more affordable.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Patrick Gilligan, Vernon District 1. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.